Hello
Hi.
and a Merry Christmas
Yes, Merry Christmas to everyone.
to
Hope
everyone.
everybody's ready for a break.
Yes, including us.
Yes, including us.
But we hope you guys are all had a great semester, and we know there's a lot of sickness going around, and clearly a little bit in my voice you can hear it. I have had the crud too. So I hope everybody is feeling okay and staying well and keeping your grades up.
Yeah, yeah, we're gonna be looking at your grades.
Keep those grades up. Let us know where we can help you with that. Also, we want to talk a little bit about participation. Um, Participation is very important in upper bound math and science. We take that into account whenever we're doing events where we have a limited number of tickets. Like we have Hamilton coming up, we have our Chattanooga spring break trip coming up, and we only have a limited number of seats for those things. And so we take your participation into account whenever we are selecting who gets to go on those trips. So be sure that you are coming to everything that you can possibly come to as far as our events go and meeting with us at schools, doing tutoring, any of those things.
Yeah,
Any,
we noticed those kind of things. So
yes, we do. Um, so we we haven't done a video newsletter in a while, so we needed to do one. But we also wanted to give you guys a little spring preview of some exciting things we have coming up this spring. And I think one of the most exciting things for you guys, because you all have requested and we have listened, believe it or not. And we know that a lot of you guys have requested that we do more things with regular upper bound. And so that is what we are doing. We are doing almost everything this spring with regular upper bound. So they liked some of the things we were doing. We liked some of the things they were doing. So we are joining forces. Um, so we're going to go over the spring activity schedule and give you guys a little sneak peek. The first thing that we have going on in January, on January 18th, and never fear, you don't need to write all these dates down. We will be sending out a flyer that has all these activity dates. We'll send it in Remind. If you're not on Remind, you need to get on Remind. Just ask one of us, and we will get you on Remind. But that's where we send a lot of things. But we'll be sending it to you on Remind. But so January 18th. We're actually doing an online event. So you won't even have to leave the comfort of your own home. You just log in on the computer. And we are actually doing a crime and handwriting analysis with a graphologist, which I will be honest, I never had even ever heard of that before. But that is a real occupation. That is the people who analyze handwriting for criminals and just historical things, just all kinds of things like that. So she is from London, England, hence why it's online. But she will be going through some red flags that indicate that someone is dangerous. And we're also going to be analyzing our own handwriting. And she's also going to tell us a little bit about careers in graphology. So that may be something that you've never thought of as a career, but something you might be interested in.
I'm so interested in that.
Me
My
too.
only question is, do they have to actually be able to read your handwriting before they can tell anything's wrong? Because if
That's
not, I
true.
could get away with anything. So
That's so
because nobody can
true.
read what I wrote. So all right. So the next thing on the schedule, January 28th, that is the service learning opportunity. So you guys can get some service learning hours, some volunteer hours. This is also with all the other upward bounds. And so we're doing two things. We're doing stuff at the Johnson City Humane Society, and we're also doing an activity at a Johnson City Elementary School, which happens to be Stacy's mom's school. She's the principal there, if you guys didn't know. And so what we're doing is we're going to have one group at one location, another group at another location, and then we're going to go to lunch at Tiebreakers, have a little fun, and then you're going to switch locations. So you'll have some, you won't get too, bored at one spot. We can switch it up, have some fun in the middle. So yeah, should be fun. Should be a good time.
Awesome. I'm excited. I love tiebreakers. It's one of my favorite.
Yeah.
I love some Aaron knows I love those video arcades, and I really love the little basketball thing. So
Mhm.
okay, so then the next event we have, and it's also with Upper Bound, we on February 6th, we will be having career speakers, and I'm really excited about these career speakers. We'll have a career speaker from ETSU's digital media department, and he's going to come talk to us about all the different careers in digital media and about the digital media major at ETSU. And for those of you that don't know, like what digital media is, that is, y'all probably know more than we do, let's be honest. But it's like digital animation, game design. I know several of you guys are interested in video game design, digital visualization, and visual effects. And so he's going to talk about all the different careers and different things that you can do with a digital media degree. I think too, there aren't a lot of schools, at least in this part of the country, that even have that major. I think ETSU is one of the few schools that has that major. So that is cool that is right here in our backyard. We're also that day, what we're planning on having is pizza and maybe some hot chocolate and cupcakes. So I think that will be something a little different and fun and yummy, because we always love the yummy. We're also having a meteorologist from WJHL. We're not sure which meteorologist, they have 4 of them, but they are going to send one to talk to us about meteorology. So if you've ever watched the weather and you're like, man, they don't know what they're talking about, well, maybe you can come and do a better job for them. So might be another career you might be interested in. So that will be our career speakers for February 6th.
All right, and then the next event, which is I think the one that a lot of people already know about, is we're going to go see Hamilton. We're going to be in the room where it happens. So this is also with other Upward Bound. Actually, is it with Talent Search as well, Stacy? Are they
No, it's
going?
just regular Upper Bound.
Okay. Other Upper Bound. So it's in Knoxville at the Tennessee Theater, which if you haven't been there before, it's one of my favorite venues to watch a show or a concert. The show is at 2:00 on a Saturday. So we'll eat lunch before it's going to be one of those, here's your money, go find a place to eat lunch. And there's not hundreds, lots of places to eat in a little 2 or 3 block area in downtown Knoxville there. Go to the show and then we'll head home after that. So, if you don't know what Hamilton is, I'm not going to explain it to you. It's too late. If you don't know, it's too late. So,
and again, this is one of those trips we have a limited number of tickets. And so you want to be participating. So if you want to sign up to go on that trip, and I probably should have said that when I was talking about participation, but with trips like that, like this Hamilton trip, you'll sign up for the trip if you would like to go. And then what we look at is like how much you're participating. And then we take into account, did you participate last summer? And don't worry, those of you guys who are new, we don't hold that against you. If you've been coming to everything you can come to since you've been in the program, we take that into account. But we also do take into account, do you come in the summer? Are you keeping your grades up? Do you meet with us when we come to school? And then things like seniority, like if, those of you who are older students. So those are the kind of the things we take when we have a sign up sheet like that. So, okay, sorry. Did you want to say anything else more about Hamilton?
no, that's good. I'm excited. I'm
so
going to be there.
excited.
I hope I participate enough to be able to get to go.
Yes, me too. Okay, so then our next thing is actually really exciting too. We're doing our spring break trip on March 14th to Chattanooga. And this year it is a 1-day trip. We are not spending the night. And I know that may be a little bit of a bummer for some of you who have been on our other spring break trips where we spent the night, but we are spending some money on Hamilton, and this summer we're going to New York City. So we have some more expensive things that we had to kind of cut back somewhere, and that landed on our spring break trip. But we are going to Chattanooga. If you haven't been to Chattanooga, it's a super fun town. We are going to actually have but I forgot to pull it out here, itinerary, but we're actually having to leave really early in the morning. But we're going to the Challenger Center that's actually at the University of Tennessee at Chattanooga. and we're going to do a mission to Mars experience. And I can tell you, I mean, maybe you're like, oh, that doesn't sound like fun. This is one of my favorite things that I've done over the years. They really make you feel like you're an astronaut. So it is really, really fun. So after that, we'll go have lunch down in downtown Chattanooga. Then we're going to go to the IMAX film at the aquarium, visit Ruby Falls, which is one of my favorite places. And then on the way home, we're going to stop at the Hamilton Place Mall and have dinner. So I know you guys love to have a little dinner at malls because it gives you a little shopping time too. So, and then we'll come back. So that'll be our spring break trip this year. And again, we'll have a limited number of seats for that trip. So you want to be participating so you can have first dibs on going on that trip.
Stacey, I'm sure they'll ask, so I'll ask for them. Will we be on a school bus for that trip, or will we be on
We will be on a nice coach bus.
coach bus? Nice.
A coach bus, yes. So we will not be on the bumpy cheese wagon. So,
All right. After the spring break trip, the next opportunity is ACT boot camp. We do one every semester. Some of you all have probably done it before. If you are, your second semester of your sophomore year, getting into your junior year, it's really one of the more like immediately rewarding things that we do. I think we usually try to have it the weekend before the testing starts. So if you're worried about ACT testing coming up, juniors, seniors, well, juniors mostly, I guess at that point, come to it. That's really helpful, especially with just techniques, timing, that kind of thing. You'll come, you'll work, you'll eat lunch, you'll work again, and then you hopefully will be much better off when it comes to the test taking time, which is usually that next week. So hope to see you there.
Absolutely. All right. The next thing on the list, we have April 13th will be something for juniors and seniors only. And that will be our bridge night, work study night. And that basically is kind of an orientation for some stuff we do in the summer. Of course, our bridge class in the summer is for our graduates. So seniors who graduate can be in our bridge class, and we will talk all about everything you need to know about that bridge class will be on that night. And then for juniors, we will talk about the work study program and what you have to do to get into that work study program and what kind of requirements there are for that work study program. And also your counselor will be talking to you about that, like us, your advisor, counselor person. We'll be talking to you about that as well, but that'll be a night where we kind of give you guys lots of information. So juniors and seniors, you don't want to miss that night. That is April 13th.
Yep. And then we really are getting at that time in the semester, getting to those times where, oh, this is just for juniors. This is just for seniors. This is just for people coming to summer. So this thing I'm getting ready to talk about is probably like the last everybody come do the thing. And that's the life skills workshop. If you remember, I think Stacey, didn't me and you do one of these like 2 years ago? And so basically it's going to be, yeah, that's right. It was during COVID. It was going to be when we were trying to figure out things to do. This one will be in person though. So it's basically going to be things you'll need to know when you get out of high school into college, and you have to basically start taking care of yourself. Now, some of you may do this already. Some of you may not. So it's going to be things like cooking, auto repair, home skills, social practices, time management skills, even things like first aid, how to take care of yourself if you cut your finger, that kind of stuff. So we'll be doing that again with all the other upper bounds. So we'll probably have you won't be doing all those things I just listed. You'll be doing some of them. Then we'll have a lunch break, and then we'll have, or I guess a dinner break technically, because it's in the evening. And then we'll have some more things to choose from to do. So that'll be should be very fun. It'll be a perfect opportunity to make fun of your counselors because we're going to be trying our best to make things interesting for you. So that'll be April 22nd, which is a Saturday. So, yep.
Okay.
All right.
Yay.
What's next, Stacey?
Next thing is for seniors only, because like Aaron said, we're getting down to the nitty gritty. May 5th will be our senior banquet. And it is honestly one of my favorite things that we do the entire year. We actually have it over at First Presbyterian. We have a dinner, and It is really good food. I call it the Presbyterian Women's Chicken, and it is fantastic. And we have a little slideshow, and we come up and we give you your cord, your graduation cord, and a little gift, and talk about you and how awesome you are. And I just love it. It is absolutely one of my favorite things we do every year. And those of you who aren't seniors, go ahead and put it in your back of your mind for when you are a senior. You need to be sure you come to the senior banquet, and that will be with Upper Bound as well. It's all the Upper Bound and Upper Bound Math and Science seniors all together. But it's a really special night. And so go ahead and put it on your calendar now, because I know some of you guys need to ask off work. So go ahead and ask off work now. That is May 5th. That's Friday. It's a Friday night.
Cinco de Mayo.
Cinco de Mayo.
All right. And then later that next week is the Upper Bound Math and Science Summer Orientation. Those of you that have been to summer before sort of know what that is. That's our, giving you some introduction about what summer is going to look like, things that might be different, things that'll be the same, just a rundown of all the things we do, what it's going to look like, the pacing, all that kind of stuff. And so that's a thing for students and their parents to come and get all the information that they have. If they have questions, hopefully we'll have all your questions answered by then, but there'll be more specific information. And then if you're thinking, while we're thinking about summer, the couple of dates to think about. Usually around second week in March is when the request for a summer packet will come out. So you request a packet, we'll send those to you. And then sometime around the end of April, third week in April, maybe something like that, will be the cutoff line for summer registration. So we want you, I think that's right. Is that right, Stacey?
Yeah.
And so we want to have that information early so we know how many people are going to be there, who your roommates are going to be, because there's a lot of work to be done before you show up at the the end of May. So we need about a month to get all that done. Anyway, so that's what summer orientation looks like. Yeah, that's it. And then school's over and summer, the fun stuff starts. So
right, the fun stuff. Okay, that's it for our spring activity schedule. We hope you guys are interested in those things and are going to participate. And Aaron, do you want to talk about our college spotlight?
Yeah. So we hadn't done this in a while, and so we're going to do a college spotlight. And so we picked Lipscomb University, which is in Nashville, Tennessee. Some of you probably have heard of it. So I would consider it an urban university, although it's a small university, which sometimes does not go hand in hand. So I'm just going to do Lipscomb University at a glance, a couple of highlights for them. So it's around 5,000 students. So like 3 or 4 times larger than Tusculum, but still not as big as like, say, maybe ETSU or UT. It's 4 miles from downtown Nashville. So if you have interest in maybe going to a more urban location, a more city type school, but still want to maybe be in a smaller school, it's a good choice. This stat right here is probably, I was looking at stuff for this university. It's one of the most impressive stats I've ever seen. They have a 95% graduation placement, which means if you graduate from Lipscomb, you in the first, I think it's 6 months after graduating, you have a 95% chance of getting a job in the field you graduated in. That's remarkable. I think nationwide it's like 60%. So that is a huge, huge deal. Lipscomb also does a thing called Lipscomb Promise. So I'm sure all you all are aware of a Tusculum Promise, or Tennessee Promise. Even though Lipscomb is technically not a state school, they have this promise to where if you graduate from a Tennessee community college with your associate's degree in 2 years, they have a benefit package. If you come to Lipscomb, you will receive a $25,000 scholarship for the year. So it's about $6,500 per semester to go there, which is a really good deal. Like I said, even though it's a private school, they don't have to do that. I thought I was impressed by that. And then the per year tuition rate at Lipscomb is about $25,000, which is not terrible, not horrible, not too high, not too low. It's not, but it's good. And then some of the awards that Lipscomb's have received, one of the best Southeastern colleges, one of the top 2 private research institutes in Tennessee. It's probably number 2 behind Vanderbilt, I would guess. Number 14, Christian University in America. Number 1 undergraduate business program in Tennessee. That's really good considering there's some large schools in Tennessee. Top 25 college of education in the nation, which is remarkable. And then I mentioned the 95% placement rate. That's just crazy. And it's also considered one of the best value colleges in America, which means bang for your buck. Basically, if you go there and spend the money, it's worth it, which is a neat stat as well. So yeah, Lipscomb University in Nashville, very good school. So
Awesome. Thank you, Aaron. That's awesome.
yeah,
I will be there actually next week
yeah,
visiting.
that's right.
My
Watching
son's playing
basketball.
basketball. Yeah. So I'll check the campus out for everybody and let y'all know how it goes.
Want some
Um,
pictures.
yeah, that's what we need. But well, we love each and every one of you guys, and we appreciate you, and we appreciate you being in UBMS and participating. And we hope you all have a really great Christmas break with your families and friends. Be safe. Please drive safely, those of you that drive, and be safe and make good choices. And
Yep.
answer your
Miss you guys. Be careful. Get some rest.
yes, rest. That's good. And we will see you guys next year. I know.
The classic joke. See you next year.
See you next year. So happy holidays. See you guys
All
later.
right. Bye, guys.